I guess, has translated? I mean, when you think back to the early weeks of the season compared to how guys are going about their business now, it's really drastic.
I think that's the biggest reason, more than anything. The cleanliness of how we're playing, our positioning, and just, big, we're just really minimizing, breakdowns, mental errors, improved our tackling. And he's right, there are a lot of variables that go into it. Some of it's your opponent, but at the same time, that's not what I'm talking about. The improvement that we're seeing, we're doing all those little things that we're just doing better, and we're staying square, just getting lined up correctly, just guys doing their job, fitting things accordingly, getting in the correct drops, covering the right guys, playing with better technique in our coverage, playing, discipline versus trick play. I mean, there's just so many little things that we're doing at a much more consistent level that's given us a chance to have success. Because again, like we said, that probably weekly, if you don't do it right against the scout team, they're gonna light you up. So we're just doing it right, being against all those things. So we have made a consistent improvement, in a number of those things. And as you play better personnel, now the margin for error increases dramatically. And so we'll be challenged in different ways this week.
They spread the ball around a lot like Clemson's offense does. I mean, does this mean that, I don't know, if you have to be more creative, maybe the personnel sets might change more so than the past few weeks?
I think, yeah, a lot of things are different, with what they do. They do a great job at getting the ball to different people, tight ends, backs, receivers, out of different looks, and they're just very precise in what they do, and very efficient. It's a pro-style system that's got a guy that we think is one of the best couple of guys in this conference, without question, is playing that way, and not just based on what people think he might be. It's actually warranted. So, going back and watching how he played, just even again, whether it's last week, but particularly against Florida State, against very good personnel, and he's probably the biggest reason why they were able to win that game. His poise, his leadership, his ability to execute, and not just execute, but really make throw after throw after throw. And again, it takes guys to block, and it takes guys to catch. But he put balls in tight places, man. So anyway, yeah, they definitely have earned our respect. Not that they're looking for that, but we're going to have to play really, really well, and better than we have all year. To be honest with you.
How was Lennon as a drop back passer compared to guys you've seen over the years?
I think he ranks right up there with him. Again, he's got a big arm, great poise, stands tall in the pocket, and really delivers the ball, puts great spin on, can make all the throws, throws all the throws with great accuracy. Sometimes a guy can throw a country mile and put it on the money, but you ask him to throw a 5-yard check down, and it's ricocheting off the people's face mask. So he can do it all. So they've done a great job. You can see it's he feels very comfortable in that system, and knows where to go with the ball. He goes from A to B to C, goes 1, 2, 3, 4. He's not really just stare one thing down, and that really forces you to play with great discipline in your coverage.
Coach, are you basically saying then over the last 4 games you've had better matchups against these teams, and this will be a more challenging one for your unit?
I'm not necessarily saying that. I just recognize the precision that this group plays with, the maturity that they play with. There's a lot of experience in this group, and I just think there's less margin for error. against these guys.
Have you found it particularly challenging at all to keep that fire under your guys when you guys have taken a big lead early in the game and just keep them playing?
I think no, the answer is no. And sometimes I've been a part of when that's the case, but I think because we play so many guys. The cleaning crew played last week. We play so many guys, it keeps them engaged, and keeps even the older guys or the guys that actually start the game. It keeps them engaged. They like watching their buddies play too. So I don't think so.
Does Beasley remind you of anyone you've been around? And when you project him out, what do you think he could be if he adds some ball?
He's one of those guys that sometimes even when he's wrong, he's right. He makes up for it with athletic ability and his explosiveness, his quickness. It's one of those no yes guys, I think if he really worked at becoming a great player, I think he would have a chance to become one in time. But there's a lot to that. So, but he's got a really, he's a very talented young guy that's still trying to figure it all out.
You guys have at one point went 9 straight possessions after turnovers of not allowing any points. Can you talk about the mentality of a defense, especially the confidence that grows when you can keep teams after a turnover from scoring?
It is an attitude. You try to feel like you're fostering, that train of thought as part of the game. You've got 2 directions in which you can go, and so I think our guys, have had, good toughness, the mental toughness that takes to be able to respond, not just once or twice, but over a period of time. The test of time usually tells kind of where you're at, and I think that speaks volumes for those guys. And again, just their mentality, their attitude, and their pride. It does start to create an identity of itself, and the attitude is so incredibly important. Your mindset. I think it's so undervalued in all sports, but particularly when you're faced with adversity. Now we can find out. And so as a coach, obviously you'd rather be on this end than any, because I think it shows it's reflective again of a toughness that you want your guys to be about.
Where do you feel like the line has improved over the last month? Seems like they've just been so much more productive and disruptive over the last month.
Just getting their eyes where they belong, playing with better pad level, playing with their hands, because their eyes are where they belong and their hands go where they're supposed to be. Footwork, staying square, trusting the call, the guy next to them, just better discipline in the rush lanes, all those things. That's the biggest thing.
All set? Thank you,
You betcha.
See you.